Hello and welcome to this video tutorial on how to start up the DCS Focke-Wulf 190 D-9 Dora. Compared to the P-51D Mustang, we think most of you will find this much easier to start up and operate. Let's go ahead and jump into this fully realized interactive cockpit. As with our other DCS titles, the cockpit is fully realized in 6 degrees of freedom movement in mouse-clickable interactive cockpit functions. For its time, the 190 cockpit was revolutionary in its ergonomic layout that made it much more easier to operate than comparable aircraft of the same era. Let's first do a quick pre-flight check. Throttle is set to off. Magnetos are set to off. Fuel selector is set to off. And bomb fuse setting is set to off. The first thing we'll do to get this bird started is open up the forward circuit breaker panel and then select each of the circuit breaker buttons. Once we're done, we'll go ahead and close the panel. With the battery circuit breaker engaged, we can now see our fuel quantities. This is indicated by the yellow gauge here. The switch to the right allows us to view the quantity in the rear tank or the forward tank with the middle selection to off. The Dora has 2 magnetos. We'll select the both position to start up the aircraft. We'll now move the fuel feed selector lever to the top position such that it'll draw from both the forward and rear tanks. We'll now work the hand crank to go ahead and close the canopy. I'll now enable the second set of circuit breakers that primarily control the fuel pumps. Moving back to the left side of the cockpit, I'll set the throttle to the idle start position. I'll now move back to the right side of the cockpit and open up the starter cover. I'll then press down the start button for about 25 seconds as the flywheel spins up. After about 25 seconds, I'll release the button and pull it up to engage engine start. I'll keep holding it up until I hear the engine catch. Good start, and I'll close the cover now. I'll now engage oxygen flow by rotating the dial here, and then verify that with both of the gauges. I can adjust my cockpit gauge lighting with the dial here. I'll now set my flaps to takeoff position by pressing the center yellow button here. During takeoff, you want your elevator trim set to 0 as indicated by the gauge here. Adjust your elevator trim with the elevator trim switch. At this point, you're all set to taxi to the runway. Good luck.